While in Jackson Hole in Jackson, visiting and seeing all the wildlife, I stopped by the Jackson Hole Fish Hatchery, an amazing place filled with amazing people and volunteers to explain what they do and how they help the yellow cutthroat trout populations. So in this fish tank, they have some fingerling cutthroat trout just to display, and sorry for the audio, it's not the best in this. After I looked around for a little bit, I found a tour guide.
This is 48-degree water. Comes from wells on the refuge. Okay? The
Awesome.
only thing they do to this water to treat it, those are filters that take out nitrogen gas and supplement it with oxygen. Okay? So each day what's going on here right now, those screens are there for a reason. They're only living in this pond. Instead of having to maintain all of it, because they're so tiny, once they grow this section, because they're growing ½ an inch each month.
Are they pebble fed? What do you feed them at this size?
Ground up fish. Meal from Utah. It's actually made out like garbage fish like carp.
Okay.
Okay, and the size of the fish, the food depends upon the size of the fish.
Yeah.
The bigger as they get, bigger.
Awesome.
So this tour guide took me on like a private tour and showed me some of the 2-year-old fish, I believe, in these tanks, and it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, I caught like 10 about that size today. That's a good one. Oh, you let him keep them?
So I'm going to do a quick recap of what he's talking about because it clinks around and the GoPro that I'm using isn't as good as my old one. So basically he's explaining that the water temperature, they keep it at 45 degrees. They filter it, take out all of the nitrogen and make sure it's a high concentrate of oxygen because trout are the most hardy animals. So they have a really rough slime coat, so if you touch it and all the oils getting on your hands can ruin the fish, as well as they need a good temperature to make sure they're growing effectively, and they feed them a couple times a day from these feeders. They're just machine ones, so they go off at certain times, and they feed them with ground up fish, and then once they're big enough they put them in the pond or they stock them around Idaho, just to places like the Palisades.
Sweet. That's awesome. Doing videos. Yep, YouTube video. I make fishing videos, so I went fishing at 47 fish this morning in like 2.5 hours, so it's pretty good. Yeah, for wild fish. I don't think you're allowed to keep cutthroat, but
now eventually it's going into Flat Creek on the refuge.
gotcha.
Now you saw the cars, you know about Flat Creek.
Yeah.
That's why the cars are everywhere.
Yeah.
And goes down the street. But the water you see here.
Just in case you can't hear it coming up, basically he's explaining why they have the fingerlings, other ones underneath the tents, basically is to protect them. They have river otters as well as heron, which they're big birds with the beaks, they eat them, and tons of other animals will try to sneak in and eat the fish, so it's basically to control that, as well as it's easier to not have them in the sun and it's better for them. He didn't say this, but it's true that fish, if their backs are out of the water, they can get sunburnt as well.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's not there now, but
I saw a whole bunch of babies when I was fishing Snake River a couple weeks ago. They're everywhere. Yeah, but it was like 2 hours away. There was like some baby like brown minks, and then there was long-tailed weasel with like it was like red with a white belly.
Yeah, we have one.
What else was there? And then a family of 4 river otters, which are pretty cool.
3 otters here.
Oh, there you go. They eat a lot of fish too.
Yes, they come in from the culvert from Flat Creek.
Oh, okay.
But see, Flat Creek has, once they start the August, September, October thing at Flat Creek,
Yeah.
they're not allowed to come in here because of ordinance.
Gotcha.
You know what that is.
Can you tell the difference between? So I know for like other types of trout I can, but cutthroat, native versus like the hatchery ones. Is there a difference on like the fins, or like do you clip them and all that stuff?
Clippings just happen last month.
Okay.
This example right here is a wild salmon versus a hatchery salmon, but it's the same way for trout. They cut the adipose fin off, so that's how they can tell.
Okay.
Those are stocked mostly in the Palisades.
Gotcha.
So they can have some kind of system because they have a 320,000 eggs came in, but I think they were supposed to put 150,000 in Jackson
Gotcha.
in the reservoir, and I think one was 17,000 in the 2 legs. But somehow they can keep track of the hatchery fish.
Yeah.
How they would do it,
Yeah.
and if they're getting older fish, they fill up.
Do you feed them in here, or they just eat bugs and stuff?
Obviously, the fish are pretty dumb in this little pond, but it inlets to a natural stream called Flat Creek, and you can fish here if you have a license. And he offered for me too, and also you can keep them and cook one.
Oh, sweet. There you go. Yep.
They actually have a all these white eggs are dead eggs. So each day that they have eggs here, they have to take what they call a turkey baster, and they take each one out one at a time, every day. All of
That would
those.
take forever.
It does.
There's no better filtering
You
line.
can size them out if you want to suck on a hose and put it in there, and you might suck out the good fish with the, or good
Yeah.
eggs with the, they do the same thing.
Are they
with the
hard when they're dead?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They put them, each one of these has a number. They have to go south to Pinedale,
I do know.
Wyoming. There's a place called Kendall Warm Springs north of town. The water comes out at 85 degrees. It's only 1,000-foot stream. That's full grown fish. It's fundamental.
Looks like a little chub or something,
Well,
or a sucker.
the stream is actually a bunch of little fingers in water in wetlands. It hits a rock face. It goes into the Green River. They are trapped. See, like no-tail?
The no-tail, yeah.
Okay? So
No one
what
has no eye.
happens, over many years, they developed into their own species of dash. Not
Dace.
Dash. And once you stream in the room next door with special tanks, it's all good. And they're bringing those fish to resupply. 2 times a year, they're allowed to.
Just so the trout can eat them, or what?
No, just to save the species.
Makes sense. Yeah, because I've never heard of it. That's interesting, right?
Well, they just had babies. There's 2 little babies, but we didn't know. One next door is special. They don't have tanks like this.
Yeah.
They're round.
So they don't hit their noses or heads or something?
Few fish in each one of them. Send them at sunrise, sunlight during the day, and sunset, so they think they're still out.
Interesting. I wouldn't even have thought about that. That's
When
so
people
cool.
see this fish, this is their other dash, and they brought them in so they know what they look like.
yeah.
These guys here
Are they like close to extinct, or like what's their?
that's
Yeah.
the only place in the world they live.
Really?
22 fish.
Really?
Those are 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22 fish. Each one. There's only a few anymore. So they got the 15 2 times a year and brought them back here for breeding.
Yeah.
So
Basically, this room, he was just explaining that they simulate day and nighttime because the fish are really particular and they keep certain ones in certain tanks individually. That way that they're safe and they can know that they're going to have more in the species since they're endangered.
How much does it, for the viewers, how much does it cost to like fish in your pond or whatever?
it's free.
It's free? Oh, there you go.
That's it. You're gonna go get your phone.
I'm good. I caught enough today. I'm covered in slime and you can see my hands are nasty, but
Tell me how many you caught today.
49. Yeah. Only one wasn't a trout, so
Wow.
yeah. It was a good morning.
What was the one you said wasn't a trap?
It was like a Utah chub or something.
Oh, Chuck.
It was just a fat, chub. I don't know what kind it was. It's like a golf ball or a softball.
Did you do this on shore or were you
Yeah.
boat?
No, I don't boat fish. I'm poor. I'm a poor college student, so.
Well, yeah, it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
You tell people how much it costs for an outfitter to take you down.
Yeah, guided fishing is expensive. But the funny thing is that like I know a lot of people that like will fish from a boat, and then I caught like a 25-inch brown that was from shore. So I'm like, you do you, mine's free.
They saw you?
Oh yeah, they were fishing like right near me.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I caught a 20 and a 19 in 25 minutes, all in front of them.
Right in front of them? Did they catch anything? Oh my God. They were ready to put that out.
I think the biggest fish they caught was like that big.
Were they with an outfit?
Yeah, they were on a guided float boat.
The
Yeah.
outfitters. Man, this is embarrassing.
Hey, but streamers, or if I'm fly fishing, I primarily use streamers. I'm the type of person that I'd rather catch 5 big fish than 50 small ones, unless I'm fishing a new place. Like I'm using Rapalas and like small jerk baits and stuff just to get reaction strikes. They'll just come off from the bottom out of the current and just grab it and then thrash.
Jerk bait?
So it's called a Rapala countdown. It's basically a hard bait like this with treble hooks on it, and then a lip that goes. So it goes like this through the water, but I just move it like this. Most people just reel them, but I twitch it so it looks like it's a dying minnow or something. And it's ironic because the biggest brown trout I catch, they're all on the brown trout color because they eat each other. I hooked into like an 8-inch cutthroat on my fly rod, and I had a 23-inch brown trout come up and eat it in front of my face when I was reeling in the cutthroat was like that bigger than that,
Bigger.
and he ate it whole, swallowed
Well,
it.
you tell people here that the fish will eat the fish.
Oh yeah,
Some of them think it's awful.
yeah.
Just say, well,
That's just
the way it
it's
is.
a
It's just nature.
fishy fish world, you know.
Well, it's when we have all these that are underneath the canvas, you'll see a lot of them, like I call them runs.
Yeah,
They've been pushed away from the feeder boxes underneath
Yeah.
the canvas. They'll be fish bait as soon as they put them in
Oh, yeah.
the reservoir, and they just think that's awful. This is just the way it
well,
is.
we used to grow them in like 3rd grade. We had like a little tank in our school, and they would have us like raise them for like a year, just put pebbles in like every day. And then at the end of the year, you go to a river, local river, and you let them go. And I will remember this till the day I die. This girl next to me, her name was Megan, she put in one of them, swam out, and a trout came up and ate it. She started crying, yeah. I was laughing my butt off, and she was crying.
You're a real dog.
Yeah.
You're laughing at her.
Well, I wasn't laughing at her, I was laughing at the situation too. So,
Well, and that's just, that's just the way it is.
yeah,
That's just the way it is.
it happens.
We have redwoods that come here,
Right?
and
Everything.
we have, big cotton.
Yeah.
They really,
Yeah.
they get buffet line.
Yep.
But, and people say, oh, that's terrible. What do we do?
Only way they survive.
I said, well, everything has to eat, everything has
Yep.
to survive.
it's like when people see like hunting or they see like dead animals or a moose hit by a car, they're like, well, it's so sad. It's like, you feed your dog worse things. The way that stuff, your dog treats and stuff is raised, or like the cows are like in waist high manure on trucks across the country. Like, people just don't understand because they don't want to be a part of that. My parents are from England, so they like, the way that they grew up is like, you would go to a butcher's shop and you'd go get it. Now she would go back to visit our family and they put all that stuff away because they don't want it. And my mom's like, why do you put that away? And they're like, well, we don't want to offend people, and people just don't like to see that anymore nowadays. And it's just, we're getting so far away from like our true identity and who we are. Like, it's almost inhumane not to hunt because it's been a historical thing that we've done for so long. Which I don't mind if people don't hunt, but at least like understand it before you like get mad at people. It's the same thing with politics. We don't like to hear each other's things. We're just listening to argue.
Yeah, so you're doing YouTube videos, but you're still going to school.
Yeah.
There's pretty good money in YouTube videos,
Uh,
now we're old, remember?
yeah, so like, I mean, you can make like 6 figures a year, but that takes a long time to like get there.
So what do you major?
Entrepreneurial studies, business management. Yeah. So I love starting my own little like businesses and stuff. I used to have a bedroom, but my girlfriend lost it in the river while I was tubing. So, not my girlfriend anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Really? Nice to see you.
Yeah, they'll if they want to apply. Well, start with
It's not a petting zoo.
and you have extra oils.
Yeah.
And then, what do we want in your put sunblock on sunscreen. You know about
Fish
that.
hate those.
As fair as you are, I put it all over me because I learned so easy.
Yeah.
And people do stuff
Yeah.
that expect.
Yeah. I don't wear sunscreen because fish hate it. So when I'm fishing, I know, like, I've seen videos of, like, sunscreen on fishing lures, and the fish will dart away, like, scared of it because they hate it, so. Yeah. And I think it just leaves, like, a layer, like, just coming off of it constantly that just messes with their nose or whatever it is, but. Anyways, but I'll let you guys get back to work. Thank you so much. In the area, stop by and say hi to Stan and his wife. They've been volunteers or workers here for like 24 years, I think they say. So it's pretty cool. I mean, the fish aren't like massive, but cutthroat just, they don't get that big, especially in like hatcheries. So it's a pretty cool experience.
The venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing.
If you know